Hey there, and welcome to This Explainer. Look, if you've tuned in, I'm guessing you're probably an upcoming or recent graduate, sort of just staring out into the great wide open of the professional world. And yeah, it's a lot. But think of This Explainer as a cozy, one-on-one mentorship session. We're going to sit down and explore a framework to map out your professional future together, step by step. We're going to take all that perfectly normal post-graduation anxiety and turn it into a concrete, highly actionable career roadmap. So, what does success actually look like for you? Honestly, it's the absolute best, most fundamental coaching question we can start with. The job market is totally vast, and the possibilities are literally infinite, which, can feel incredibly overwhelming right now. But hey, we're establishing a truly collaborative tone today. You don't need to have all the answers yet, not at all. You just need to be willing to ask the right questions. Okay, so here is our game plan to get you there. 1. Assessing your career starting line. 2. Exploring and comparing career paths. 3. Mapping short-term career milestones. 4. Establishing long-term career objectives. 5. Using the smarter goal system. And finally, 6. Measuring progress and staying flexible. All right, let's dive right into step 1, assessing your career starting line. Before we figure out where you're going, we really need to firmly establish your foundation and, honestly, validate all the hard work you've already put in. Did you know that post-secondary degree earners make, on average, $17,000 more a year than those with just a high school diploma? I mean, that's a very tangible return on your investment right there. But beyond just the money, you've already begun building these absolutely crucial soft skills, things like communication, empathy, and complex problem solving. Those are the bedrock of literally any successful career. So remember, you aren't starting from zero. You are starting with real momentum. A really fantastic way to visualize that foundation is through a transition assessment, kind of like a bubble map graphic organizer. Career coaches, myself included, absolutely love tools like this to systematically collect information about your academic strengths, your needs, and your work preferences. It helps identify those hidden transferable skills you might not even realize you actually have. By filling in all these little bubbles, you get to objectively evaluate your traits, which stops you from investing years into a career path that, frankly, won't actually make you happy. Moving right along to phase 2, exploring and comparing career paths. Now listen, in this discovery phase, it is perfectly okay. In fact, it is highly encouraged to have a whole bunch of different career ideas floating around in your head right now. But to narrow them down without completely losing your mind, we use the LAMP method. It gives you a really structured, totally stress-free way to research your options. L stands for list. Just write down your dream companies. A is for associations. Identify any connections or network contacts you might already have at those places. M stands for motivation. Get crystal clear on why you actually want to work there, what's driving you. And finally, P is for positions. Explore the available roles that actually match those newly identified skills of yours. Now, why does getting specific actually work? Well, there's a brilliant psychological brain hack behind this, involving your reticular activating system, or RAS for short. Getting clear on your career path literally trains your brain to spot new opportunities. When you engage your RAS, it basically acts like a bouncer for your brain. It filters out the noise of the world and brings relevant, helpful information right to the forefront of your conscious mind. Because of how that RAS works, it's absolutely crucial that you keep your goals visually present. Keep them written on your desk or, taped right to your laptop monitor. Think about it like this. Have you ever decided you really, really want to buy a specific new gadget, and then suddenly you see that exact gadget everywhere you go? Right. That is your RAS in action. By putting your career goals right in your visual workspace, you're training your brain to passively hunt for career opportunities all day long. Okay, let's look at step 3, mapping short-term career milestones. Now that we've played around with what's possible, we need to peg down your actual milestones for the next, say, 3 to 5 years. These are your 4 pillars for the immediate future: learning, experience, skills, and your ideal next job. And hey, here's a massive pro tip from the coaching world. Go read the job descriptions right now for the exact roles you want 3 years from now. Look at the specific qualifications and competencies they're asking for. By doing that today, you can spot the exact gaps in your current resume and start filling them immediately, whether that's through targeted courses or grabbing some entry-level experience. Which perfectly sets up our 4th step, establishing long-term career objectives. Once you've got those short-term goals locked down, we zoom way out to the grand, big-picture roadmap of your professional life. And it's vital to clearly delineate the difference between the two. See, short-term milestones are really about tasks, earning a certificate, getting that next promotion, taking boxes. Long-term objectives, well, those are much deeper. This is where you map out a full 15-year career progression. This involves cultivating high-level soft skills, commercial awareness, and really complex competencies like adaptability and conflict management. You're charting the long-haul course from where you are today to the leader you want to be a decade and a half down the line. All right, moving into step 5, using the SMARTer goal system. So, how do we actually pull all this off? You've probably heard of SMART goals before, right? Well, we're taking it a step further today to ensure your goals are perfectly balanced between being incredibly motivating and entirely reachable. Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. Those are your bread and butter foundation. But we add empowering, ensuring the goals actually feel right to your core and drive the changes you personally want. And reviewable, keeping your goals flexible enough so you can easily adjust to shifting market conditions. Let me give you a really fun, practical example of a SMARTer goal in action. Say your specific goal is to complete the IBM AI Fundamentals Skills Build badge by a certain date. Okay, so it's measurable, it's timely, it's achievable. Good. But to make it truly empowering, tie it to an incentive. In this real-world example from our source, completing the badge actually earned a $300 reward from an employer, which the person used directly to fund an upcoming vacation. How great is that? It makes the learning highly relevant, incredibly motivating, and completely actionable. And finally, our last step, step 6, measuring progress and staying flexible. Look, life happens. As external factors pop up, new tech innovations emerge, and your own personal life naturally evolves, you absolutely need to adapt. I want you to compare your career planning to designing an elaborate 30-year overseas trip. Think about the energy, the itineraries, and the hyper-focus you would dedicate to a trip like that. Well, your career deserves just as much focused planning. Set up reoccurring monthly or quarterly calendar invites just to review your SMARTer goals. Measure your progress, pat yourself on the back for your wins, and adjust your course if you need to. And here is my strictest, absolute best advice as we look ahead. Never, ever cancel that meeting with yourself. So, we've covered the starting line, we explored the paths, mapped out short and long-term milestones, and built a bulletproof system to track the whole shebang. Your roadmap is officially set. So, I want to leave you with one final provocative thought. What is the very first step you're going to take today? Seriously, don't wait for tomorrow. Your professional journey starts right now. Thank you so much for exploring this framework with me on this explainer, and honestly, I absolutely cannot wait to see where your roadmap takes you.